Dr. Timothy turned to his desk. I'm afraid I didn't get a chance to warn you about Mrs. Yeo, he said sheepishly. His mobile phone rang. Excuse me, I need to get this. He moved away from the others and started speaking quickly in Mandarin. Terry tried to be tactful. Well, I don't think I've ever met anyone quite like her before. Me neither, piped up Bindi. I hope I don't ever meet anyone like her again, added Robert. Robert, that is rude, stuttered Terry. No, it's not, Ma'am, it is truthful, replied Bindi on Robert's behalf. She was wearing a snakeskin suit. Terry shuddered at the memory. Yes, it was horrible, but don't say anything to Timothy about her. Anyway, it sounds like we will be having dinner at her place tomorrow night. Do we have to? Bindi asked. Yes, for Timothy. We are here to support him, and that dinner is obviously important. Robert was shuffling his feet in the dirt. When can we see the reptiles, Mom? Look, why don't you and Bindi have a look around? I'll wait here for Timothy to finish his talk and follow you. Okay, Mom. The siblings looked at each other excitedly and raced off down the path. Let's go visit Timothy's favorite reptile, Bindi suggested. They wandered down a dirt path towards a large enclosure. Passing along the pair of Philippine sapphire lizards and a beautiful Fijian crested iguana. Next up was a large enclosure where a widow-looking Komodo dragon was sunning herself on a large rock. There she is. That must be Saffron. Isn't she fantastic? The kids knew that Dr. Timothy had been very lucky to get Saffron. Komodo dragons came from Komodo Island in nearby Indonesia, but they were critically endangered. Dr. Timothy had plans to start a breeding program within the reptile park, and he hoped that in years to come Saffron would produce offspring to help increase Komodo dragon numbers worldwide. So not only was she gorgeous, she was also vitally important to the success of Dr. Timothy's long-term plans for the reptile park. Bindi looked admiringly at Saffron, who remained oblivious to the attention and raised her neck farther towards the sun. I don't think I've seen a Komodo who's come straight from the wild before, she said. She is definitely bigger than any female Komodo that I've ever seen before. Don't you think? Definitely. Nice long toes too, added Robert. She's drop-dead gorgeous, and said Bindi. Robert frowned. I hope you don't mean her, he said, pointing farther along the path to where Mrs. Yu was having an animated conversation with a construction worker. That's strange, isn't it? Said Bindi. Wasn't she ordering someone around, telling them she needed to get back to the mainland pronto? Just then both adults glanced over to in the kid's direction. Mrs. Yu looked annoyed to see them there and guided the water away from the kids and out of sight. Robert shrugged. Maybe the boat wasn't clean enough and she's organizing a jumbo jet to pick her up instead. Right on cue, a large aircraft flew overhead. He yelled over the engine noise. See? Told ya. But Bindi wasn't paying attention. She was frowning, staring after the departed adults. There was definitely something slippery about Mrs. Cynthia Yeo.